You're watching BBC World News.
World Challenge 2009, in association with Shell.
Welcome to the World Challenge 2009. In this program, how two San Francisco students are building a business from the grounds up. That's coffee grounds. And the fuel cells in a Kenyan prison that save trees by producing cooking gas from sewage. First, a reminder of the website where you can vote for your favourite World Challenge 2009 finalists. It's theworldchallenge.co.uk. Now in its 5th year, the World Challenge competition features 12 sustainable businesses and projects from around the world. It's for you to vote online for the one you think is the most deserving of the World Challenge Cash Awards. These are tough times for San Francisco. The state of California is officially bankrupt. The economy is still reeling from the global financial downturn, and unemployment is now over 11%. But two graduates here are bucking the trend by building a business based on waste. It's 6 in the morning, and Nikhil Arora and Alejandro Velez are doing something they never thought they would be doing when they attended one of California's top university business schools: collecting waste coffee grounds. And they have big plans for their business.
We first heard about the whole idea at a lecture here at UC Berkeley's Haas School of Business, and initially it was just the fact that you could take coffee grounds, used up coffee grounds, and grow gourmet mushrooms such as oyster, shiitake, ganoderma.
America's addicted to coffee. There's something you got to be able to do with that idea of using coffee grounds to grow mushrooms.
That initially was extremely interesting to us and extremely exciting to actually have the potential, the possibility, and the opportunity to actually take this waste and do something valuable with it and grow a valuable product.
World coffee production is around 7 million tonnes a year, and with less than 1% of the coffee bean ending up in the cup, that's a lot of waste. The caffeine in the grounds means that most plants cannot flourish in coffee alone. But mushrooms are different. In humid conditions, they thrive on these pods containing only waste coffee grounds. The mushroom farm is an empty warehouse in a depressed part of San Francisco. These are not any old mushrooms, but gourmet oyster mushrooms, much in demand in restaurants throughout the city.
This is the BTTR Ventures oyster mushroom warehouse, and this is the first stage of the whole process. This is where Alex and I come in every morning. We bring the coffee in here, we mix it with the spawn, and we plant these bags. And as the mushroom seed or the spawn starts to take over the substrate, the coffee gets covered in a white thin layer, which is mycelium. And once it's completely covered, we know it's ready for the next room.
This is the room where we actually shock the mushrooms. So it's kind of neat because the way mushrooms actually grow is when they feel like they're going to die, the caps start coming out. So in order to do that, we either change the temperature, change the relative humidity, change the CO2 content in the bag. So if you look at these bags right now, they have been fully colonized by the mycelium, and then they're about 3 to 5 days, they're going to be going to the fruiting room where they'll actually start growing.
This is where everything kind of comes together, all the hard work starts paying off. So you can see the mushrooms literally start popping out of the substrate or the coffee. So they starts off, you can see, with small little primordia, so the mushrooms starting to form, and then over a couple of days they start to grow, and you get these beautiful kind of white oyster mushrooms.
So have they found a viable business model that is also sustainable? The dean at their former business school is impressed.
Being able to take something that is not only essentially of no value, but of negative value. It's a waste product. We have to deal with it. It's costly to deal with. And being able to transform that into something valuable is really very important. But at the end of the day, of course, the cost of that transformation, the scale at which it will have to occur, and the ultimate quality of what's produced, these are uncertainties that they're managing as best they can. If they're managed well and we get the right outcome, this is going to be a booming business.
Applying the lessons learned at business school, the team did its research on supply and demand.
consumers are kind of looking for more than just the taste. They want something that kind of makes them feel good as well. And what we're offering is an absolutely sustainable product. You know, there's nothing in the environment that's being affected. In fact, we're improving the environment because they're purchasing our mushrooms. So, you know, we really believe that we're providing a great product at the same time as taking care of the community. And you add those together, and I think it gives the best experience for consumers.
There's been a dramatic growth in demand for organically grown produce in California and Berkeley in particular, where demand has risen by up to 21% every year for the past decade.
Bing cherries have finally come to market.
But are the mushrooms grown on coffee grounds as good as their conventionally grown counterparts? Local radio personality Narsai David is a chef, a wine grower and food critic.
I've tasted them and they're absolutely delicious. They taste like oyster mushrooms ought to taste. So it's not a matter of this tastes better than that or this is more nutritious than that. The fact that they can produce it sustainably with something which until they came along was a waste product, that's exciting. People are going to tune into that. People are going to really enjoy hearing that.
With both demand and quality checked, the next step was to make sure the coffee shops would cooperate. In this town, Pete's Coffee is a big catch.
We really, as a matter of principle, want to be behind any concept that feeds back into our community, that provides local employment, that makes use of a ground of a material that's been produced here and really closes in a loop locally for our community, both in terms of employment and use of matter. It was so exciting. It just seemed an absolute no-brainer that we would cooperate with this and that we would get involved.
Once Pete's agreed to let the team have their grounds, other smaller outlets followed suit. This year, Better Ventures plans to recycle more than 200 tons of coffee grounds. The mushrooms break down the caffeine in the grounds, leaving them ideal as compost for the Bay Area's organic farms.
These coffee grounds have already been spent with mushrooms, and so this is great for the soil. You want a lot of mycorrhiza in your soils.
In a nutshell, we're taking a waste stream and adding two additional kind of value elements to it, in that we're creating food, and two, we're creating great compost, so it's kind of transforming a waste stream into a much more valuable product.
The efforts of Better Ventures have also got the support of the top academic at Berkeley.
We have a long tradition here at Berkeley of social action and commitment to social justice, and in modern times I would say our students, actually, especially our undergraduate students, have really been caught up with the issue of sustainability. Our students have had really remarkably creative ideas, and I must say this one, which in some ways is so simple, it's elegant in its simplicity, and therefore I liked it particularly.
And another breakthrough for Better Ventures. The Berkeley outlet of the giant organic and health foods chain, Whole Foods Market, is now selling the mushrooms. As they proudly display the fruit of their labours, the business graduates dream of becoming tycoons of useful recycling.
If I won the World Challenge, I think the first step is to immediately take this model that we've created here in Berkeley and Oakland and Emeryville and take that into San Francisco. We see huge potential in San Francisco. Within a block, we can collect the amount of coffee that we're collecting here within 5 miles.
And for the both of us, I think we would love to use that money to really expand this into hopefully every urban area in America. That's our first goal, and this is really just a start.
Remember, you have the chance to decide which World Challenge 2009 finalist is the most deserving, and you can help them win a cash prize. Visit theworldchallenge.co.uk and find out how you can cast your vote.